This very nice oak case clock came in very poor condition and needed a great deal of restoration. I had to put a fillet in the top here. I had to replace all the mouldings on the face here. I had to remake these sections here and put feet on it to support it and to make it look more elegant. I had to polish the case, French polish, clean it down. The French movement seemed to require additional length, and I had to cut the section out of the bottom to permit the pendulum to swing properly. The French movement and the pendulum has all been cleaned up, and it works very satisfactorily now. You can see here the fillet that I put in. It runs across the top, and it is really a very nice clock. It's pretty good at timekeeping, but then old clocks like this are not really for timekeeping, because back in the days when this was running properly, there would be no way of being able to check the time because it was pre-radio. I think this is probably about somewhere around 1900. Might be a little later, but you wouldn't know whether the time is right or wrong to the nearest 10 minutes during the week. So you can't be too critical about timekeeping. If you want the right time, then look at your telephone. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's just the case is they are not particularly accurate when they're family clocks. This is a family clock. It's not particularly fine, but it's very nice. I will illustrate. I make sure that it's running at the moment. There we are. And it does keep pretty good time under the circumstances. Drawbacks. I wasn't able to get the minute hand here to really connect properly to the main arbor, the cannon arbor, but there's nothing I could do with that about that. The door here doesn't close properly, principally because the clock face has to be screwed into the wooden case, and the original holes that I used I think twisted the case a little, and to experiment and get that right, it's not really vastly important, but it now looks, I think, pretty good. The French polishing isn't perfect. You can see that down here there's some places the French polish didn't really take terribly well, but apart from that, it's a vast improvement. It's a nice clock. It keeps reasonable time. It strikes on the hour, with the hour, and it strikes on the half hour. I'll try and show some stills of the clock as it was received, and if you wanted to buy it, you would get a complete photographic record of the repairs that were done, which helped to justify the cost that I have to charge, since it takes a very, very long time to restore a clock from the condition it was in to the position and the condition it is in now. The problem of adjusting the pendulum to get it so that the clock will keep more accurate time is quite a difficult one to overcome, because to fit the clock's pendulum back onto the pendulum spring, which is up here at the top here, there's a little hook on the pendulum rod which hooks onto the pendulum spring there. It requires quite a lot of dexterity. You need to have pliers like this to be able to lift that up and drop it on, and you have to tilt the clock over so that you can see what you're doing. You have to use the space at the bottom here to get the pendulum into the clock, and when you've done that, you then have to regulate it, and calculate how long it's going to take, or what benefit you're going to get from it. There is on the back of this bob here, I fitted or replaced a screw, a fixing screw, which you need to remove or loosen so that you can adjust the pendulum height, or for gain or loss, lift it up to make it faster, drop it down to make it slower, and you lock that so that it won't move with a little screw at the back, which I had to rethread and fit it. So you are going to find it difficult to be pedantic about any loss or gain. It's better to let it run unless it starts to be very erratic, or it's dramatically wrong, like if it's more than 15 minutes a week, which it'll run for 8 days or 7 days, no problem. That's it should be taken into account, and you just mentally say, oh, it's Thursday today, therefore it's going to be 5 minutes fast or 10 minutes fast. If you do fit it in, then you'll probably move the hammer in relation to the gong there, and so you will have to reline that up by hand. At the moment it connects quite well, but if it doesn't, you've got a problem. I think it's just might be a tiny bit out, but I think that's all right. Let's have a see. No, that's all right. So you have got little idiosyncrasies with a clock like this, and don't forget it was a family piece, which was its pride and joy, and I hope that somebody who will buy it will take care of it and look after it. One other thing that I would suggest is that you get in the habit of winding it at the same day each week, either Sunday or Friday or whenever it suits. If you want to go away on holiday, then it's best if you can stop the clock, and one way to do it is you can tilt it so that you arrest the swing of the pendulum, or you can just leave the key in here, and when the minute hand moves around there, it'll arrest it. Never push the minute hand backwards, always carry it round forwards, let it strike on the hour and the half hour, and that will ensure that you don't mess up the snail and the hammers and with the way that it works, which is quite complicated. I would be happy to try and give you some advice if you have problems. Just ring me up and leave a message, and I'll try and come back to you. But it's a very nice clock, and I've had it running for a long time, and it works well.